In this video, we're going to cover when investing in real estate, it's just not about finding the property, it's about fixing the problems. So over the months and years of handling clients, a large portion of our help revolves around fixing problems that the client is having during their 1031 exchange. And the amount of these problems is impressive. We have clients with partnerships. You know, partnerships are like marriages. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. When presenting, I usually crack jokes about, has anyone had a client where they don't like their relative or co-investors in a property? So a lot of times we're working out solutions on how we can unwind the investment partnership so that the investors can now take their gains and invest separately after, let's call it, the love is gone with their partners, whether they be relatives or whether they be investment partners. So a lot of this involves things called drop and swaps, unwinding partnership divisions. We work very hard with the investor and their legal counsel and their CPAs on developing strategies that allows the client to go their own way. Another issue that we see is debt forgiveness. Debt forgiveness and or other debt outside of their real estate transaction. So a lot of times when people are selling their highly appreciated real estate, they have this extra money to pay off debt outside of their exchange. And one of the problems they have is if you pull money out of your 1031 exchange, you're exposing yourself to the capital gains and depreciation recapture. So once again, we're working on strategies on how they can either pull that cash out by offsetting it with other deductions, and or can they set up a property that they purchase where in the future they could probably refinance out and use that refinanced money, which will not be taxed, to take care of these other debts. Then we get into such things as deed in lieu of foreclosures, where we have successful investors. They could have 5, 6, 7 other properties, but they have this one property that's completely upside down, and they've either worked out a solution with the bank, basically a deed in lieu of foreclosure, where they hand the deed back to the bank and they get debt forgiveness. Now in that problem, we have taxes from the debt forgiveness. So once again, we're working out strategies such as doing a 1031 exchange with the deed in lieu of foreclosure and how to replace that real estate for pennies on the dollar. So most of the time, an advisor should be aware that besides selling the property, there could be some underlying issues that's driving the investor to do things, and it's very important for them to speak with their client, find out all the fact patterns, because when you find out the fact patterns, you're going to have a much higher level of success with that client, along with their reinvestment of their proceeds, but along with fixing their problem, helping them out with a situation. Clients love it when you help fix problems that they don't have an answer for. So if you like this video, hit like and subscribe and check out my other videos.